Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott are engaged.
Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin postpone their wedding.
And Taylor Swift breaks down during concert.
All that and more on today's Rundown. Guys, did you know that one of your favorite Riverdale stars might actually be psychic?
Okay, that's a little bit of a stretch. We'll explain later. But first, we have to talk about Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. They may be engaged, guys. So Kylie Jenner just celebrated her 21st birthday, but that may not be all that she's celebrating. Some think that she and Travis just got engaged. Now, before you get excited, let me back up and explain. So a source revealed to E! News that Kylie was, quote, glowing and looked beautiful, and that the couple made no effort to hide from other shoppers when they were in a luxury jewelry store. And apparently Travis was very sweet with Kylie and made sure that she was taken care of. The source confirmed that Travis and Kylie purchased a couple jewelry items before leaving the store, but sadly we don't have any more details about who actually paid for the items. However, it totally sounds like Travis took Kylie to a jewelry store to pick out one last 21st birthday present. But remember, Travis has already gifted Kylie with the classic Rolls Royce and a garden of roses, so many are wondering if Kylie actually went to the jewelry store to get her new engagement ring sized or clean. Now, if you recall in Travis's birthday post for Kylie, he wrote, "Happy birthday, wifey." And a different source dished to E! News that Kylie and Travis have definitely discussed getting married, and Kylie has told Travis what type of ring she would want. However, the source went on to say, quote, "They are not engaged right now, but have talked about it and it's only a matter of time." Aaron, I have a lot to say about this, and the reason why is, do you remember when Cardi B and Offset were rumored to be engaged? And when Offset was at the BET Awards, he got on stage and accepted his awards, he called Cardi wifey. And the very next day, it came out they actually got secretly married.
Yeah. You think it's the same thing?
He said, "Happy birthday, wifey." What if this is like the hidden message just like that was?
Well, it's not so hidden if he calls her his wifey. I mean, I thought that's pretty forward. Nothing would surprise me with regards to these two. I feel like, you know, they've been together for a while now. Travis just dropped an album that sold like over 500,000 copies, so he's got a little extra cash on hand. And I feel like it's probably time it would make sense to me.
They have their child together, like, why not?
I know. Also though, when you're Kylie Jenner, you get to go to jewelry stores and pick out expensive things like every day. It is not a special occasion. If you see me in a Tiffany store, you know something is about to go down. I don't even go in that store. I don't even look in that direction because I know I can't afford it. So I think there are different standards for celebrities, you know, so who knows? I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, one person who is finally flashing her ring is Priyanka Chopra. So, you know, there are these rumors about her engagement and they really haven't confirmed, and then she took off her ring randomly one time during an event.
She like hid it walking through the airport like that.
But like girl, we know. Like, we know. But anyway, she finally flashed it, but it wasn't on her Instagram, it was on her friend's. I'll explain. So Priyanka showed off the ring in a pic with her friend and Bollywood actress Raveena Tandon. Raveen posted those pics on her Insta, and now we're drooling because it is gorgeous. The diamond is front and center in the cute pic, but of course there's no actual mention of it, but that's fine because we'll take what we can get. Raveena simply captioned the pic, quote, "PC and I getting our pouts in order."
This seems really strange to me. The first thing that goes into my head is she didn't realize that her ring was on her finger, but when you get engaged, all you do is talk with this hand.
Yeah.
Like you could be like, "I need to brush my teeth right now," and you're like, no one does that. But when you are engaged, that's all you do. So my second thought is this is very strange because she has been so private. Why wouldn't she show it for the first time on her page? Maybe she's trying to help her friend get some Instagram followers.
Hey, maybe.
And maybe she's just a giver. I don't know. It just is really confusing to me because I want them to release a statement, you know? Like, I want her to be happy that she's engaged. I want her to be telling the world about it.
I love him.
I know, I want happiness. So the fact that she's been hiding it just seems like a little weird to me. So much marriage and relationship news today. Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin, you guys know they are officially engaged, but apparently their wedding plans are slowing down significantly.
Uh-oh.
So Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin are apparently slowing down when it comes to their wedding plans, leaving a lot of people to wonder, are they on the rocks right now? Just because they are slowing down their wedding plans does not necessarily mean that there is trouble in paradise, you guys. According to People, a source has revealed that the wedding planning has slowed down a bit, but they still don't want a long engagement, but they are also not rushing the wedding. A source went on to say that it was getting quite intense and they realized realize they want to enjoy being engaged for a while. It's not like they need to rush. They aren't slowing things down because they are unsure if they want to get married. They definitely want to get married. Now hearing this news after Justin was photographed crying in New York City with Hailey just last week has some questioning if everyone is actually okay in this relationship. TMZ caught up with Justin after the tears were shed and asked him about the cry sesh. It appears he was going to ignore the question, but then before getting into his car, he held up a book by Timothy Keller called The Meaning of Marriage and said, quote, this. When asked what it meant, he said, you got good days and you got bad days. It's not real if it doesn't have any bad days. I am so curious about what went on between him and Hailey. They were both really emotional. He was emotional at first, then she got emotional later in the day. Some people, it was rumored that it had something to do with his grandfather. I'm not really sure, but you know what? I hope they're working through all that stuff out before they get married. I think that's a healthy thing to do.
That's why, and you know, it depends. But I can't talk. That's why I like long engagements sometimes, because I feel like during the engagement you really get to know the person. If you go to marital counseling or premarital counseling, all different things, like you really kind of form that bond before you make that formal union.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why specifically, and I'm not in the relationship, I'm not engaged, I'm in no position to give advice, but specifically for them, even though they did date previously, they did take some years off and then get back together. So on the one hand, they have years of history and they're friends and everything, but at the same time, being friends and actually dating and actually being engaged are all three separate things. And I think I'm kind of appreciative that they are actually taking the time to extend their engagement. Still saying they want to get married fairly soon, but extend their engagement to really get their bearing and ground. Aaron, what am I saying
You're
today?
Right, you're right.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Have a stable foundation for marriage.
Exactly, because if you don't have the stable foundation now, it's not gonna last.
Yeah, and also, I love that Justin is reading marriage books. I haven't read a book in 20 years. Like, wow, Justin's like way ahead of me in this department.
Kudos to you, buddy. So we've been talking about Laura Lee a lot in the past couple of days because of some of her past tweets, but now Gabriel Zamora is apologizing for some past tweets of his own. So like his BFF Laura Lee, beauty guru Gabriel Zamora is now apologizing for past racist tweets. So first, Laura sent out a public apology for past recent tweets, and now Gabriel has issued an apology because around the same time that fans uncovered Laura's old tweets, people discovered that Gabriel used the N-word on Twitter back in 2012. Now, in response to the backlash, he first went private at first, but then he returned to Twitter to apologize for his, quote, ignorant post. He wrote, I want to take the time and say I'm sorry to anyone offended by an old tweet of mine that's recently being brought up. I'm not asking to be forgiven, I just want to apologize to anyone offended by it. Gabriel also explained why he used it, saying, I made an ignorant tweet when I was younger and used the N-word in the way songs and videos used it talking to my friend. There's no excuse for me to use it, but I can say no one had ever explained the use of that word until that day to me. Gabriel finished his apology by promising to learn from his mistakes, but unfortunately for him, though, the racist tweet wasn't the only thing people were upset over. The beauty guru seemingly shaded ex-friend Jeffree Star by posting a picture of himself, Laura, Manny, and Nikita Dragun, giving the middle finger and captioning it, quote, "Bitch is bitter because without him we're doing better." He also addressed this controversy in another apology in which he said to the YouTubers in the photo and the beauty community in general, he wrote, I want to apologize to Manny, Laura, and Nikita, as my first tweet that included the photo of us was never okayed by them. The photo was supposed to be funny and I took it upon myself to tweet it with text. They didn't know what I was going to say. So Manny thanked Gabriel for the apology and said that he didn't read what the actual caption was. He just liked the photo and then he took away his like once he saw the backlash from it and then asked Gabriel to take it down. But Gabriel did say that he's working on being a better person every day. I think we're just seeing what you say in the past can come back to haunt you, and it sucks, but it happens. And I think it's just all about how you react to it once it happens. And that's with anything in life. And I'm talking to all of you out there. There's gonna be times in your life where literally things that you didn't know were going to come up about you, or you've done things in the past that maybe you're not so proud of. But I just think in any situation, anytime you get into a confrontation or anything, it's all about how you react to it and what you do now, even though you may have done things in the past, what you do now is really the representation of how you move forward.
Yeah, I watched, I was converting all my VHS tapes to digital. Google that if you don't know what it means. And it was of me like in college, and there was a girl that I knew on this ship that I worked on, a cruise ship. And I just said something about her. It wasn't like racist or anything. It was just like, not nice, you know? And at the time I was laughing about it, and I watched it back as like 10 years have gone by, and I watched it back and I was like, ew, like, who was I? Like, who says that, you know? And I think we do grow and we do evolve as people. I mean, not to say that you should just be able to say whatever you want and have no repercussions. I think you have to apologize. I think you have to address things. But I do think that people can grow. I think people can change. And I just feel like we're gonna have this story with regards to every single person on the internet at some point in their life. If there's gonna be some little tweet or some reply that has some sassiness or something rude or racist or wrong that we're just gonna be talking about. Like, literally every single person has said something or done something that they're not super proud of. So I feel like this is not the end, it's only the beginning. We don't usually hear Taylor Swift talk a lot about that sexual assault case that happened last year, or the ruling happened last year, but she did recently talk about it, and she got very emotional. Taylor Swift got emotional on stage while recalling the day she learned the verdict in her sexual assault case. She held back tears during her show in Tampa, Florida, while recalling the very same day just a year earlier that the verdict was announced in her sexual assault case. She said, "A year ago, I was not playing in a stadium in Tampa. I was in a courtroom in Denver, Colorado." She then became very emotional as she continued to speak.
This day a year ago was the day that the jury sided in my favor and said that they believed me.
If you guys remember, Taylor sued David Mueller, a former DJ, in the amount of $1 for symbolic damages after he assaulted her at a meet and greet back in 2013. And although Taylor got the verdict she deserved, she wants her fans to know that she recognizes all of those who are not believed the way that she was. She told the crowd, I just think about all the people that weren't believed, and the people who haven't been believed, and the people who are afraid to speak up because they think they won't be believed. I just wanted to say I'm sorry to anyone who ever wasn't believed, because I don't know what turn my life would have taken if somebody didn't believe me when I said something had happened to me." And according to Cosmopolitan, fans reportedly held up $1 bills after Taylor's speech, which was the amount that she sought in symbolic damages from David Mueller. I think this is really important for her to talk about this. I've always been surprised that she hasn't talked about this more. I think it was she wanted to not make a big deal out of it and not make headlines for it. But I do think that there is power in celebrities who have been assaulted or have come against some sort of abuse to talk about that to their fans, because people are facing these type of situations in real life all the time. I had a guy slap my butt one time very hard at on this cruise ship that I worked on. And he came up behind me and he reared his hand back and slapped my butt so hard. But this was like, you know, over 10 years ago. And at the time I was just like, oh, that was silly. But now, now that I'm hearing all these stories about so many women and men who have faced abuse and assault, I'm like, I was sexually assaulted by that person. Like, I didn't even know the guy. So I feel like celebrities need to be talking more about what happens to them, and I'm glad Taylor finally did.
I love it. It's so empowering. I'm glad you shared that story, because there are so many stories out there, and celebrities have their power, they have their influence, and once they continue to speak out and be more open and more vulnerable, I feel like you start to look at them not just as, oh my gosh, I love you so much, but oh my God, you're human too. You know, you have a story too, and I can relate to that. So I just think it's so important. I know Taylor Swift gets a bad rap. Everybody doesn't like Taylor Swift, but I think that this is one of those moments where, regardless if you are a fan of Taylor or not, I just love that she's so open about this.
Same.
All right, guys, so Cole Sprouse, he has a lot to be happy about. He's on a hit TV show. He won a ton of awards at Teen Choice Awards. Right, hot girlfriend. But now we have to talk about the fact that he probably isn't too happy about his Twitter account getting hacked. So the hack appears to have started on Monday night at around 8:45 p.m. after a series of strange and some not safe for work tweets appeared. You can go look those up yourself. But the tweet that raised major suspicion with fans, though, was one about a meet and greet with the cast in LA. But Twitter user @LauraK.Dyer tweeted to fans to let them know this was not a real meet and greet. She said, "Warning, Cole Sprouse's account has reportedly been hacked. The hacker is saying there's a meet and greet in Los Angeles. Do not go. The cast is currently in Toronto. Spread the word so no one will get hurt. Now, the hacker's tweets have since been deleted, but Lily Reinhart took to Twitter to let everyone know how she feels about the situation. She tweeted, "Cole's Twitter has been hacked, by the way. F people who do that, seriously." Now, even though the tweets were completely obscure, it's interesting that back in June, he tweeted, "The point is to establish a strange enough Twitter that if someone hacks your it would just look like business as usual." So Aaron, the reason why I said in the beginning that he may be psychic is because he spoke this into existence.
It's true.
He technically did.
You have to be careful what you say.
You really do.
Your words do have power. I have a girlfriend who, very healthy, very normal. She started eating these gummy bears and she was like, "I love these gummy bears, they're so good. If I don't stop eating them, I'm gonna get diabetes." And I was like, "Girl, you better stop saying that." And you guys, I'm not kidding, like 4 months later, she got diabetes. Didn't run in her family. Like,
I eat so many gummies.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. A lot, like literally, don't speak it. You are healthy and you are strong and you are fine. But your words do have power. So Cole, do not talk about things like this. I always am worried that my Twitter is gonna get hacked.
Yeah.
Not that anyone would care, but except me. But you know, you gotta change those passwords.
Gotta change them.
All right, let's end this show with a little relationship talk. Do you think that Kylie and Travis are engaged? Do you think they're already married already? You remember when he gave her that ring after she gave birth? Everybody, it looked like a big diamond engagement ring. So they might already be married.
Who knows? We don't, but we're gonna find out soon, hopefully. But also, let us know what you think about Justin and Hailey. Do you think everything is okay there? Is there drama, or are they just going through the motions of what people in relationships go through? Let us know in the comment section below. And of course, we'll be back here tomorrow for another episode of DHR.
Woo! Subscribe.
Daily Hollywood.
All right, Emil, I know you weren't here yesterday, but we did talk about what actually happened with Demi Lovato's overdose. So if you guys missed it, like Emil did, click this box over here for that.
All right, guys, check that out. And then after that, click right here to subscribe.